Talking to members of the crew who said that they were making changes minutes before some of these dangerous challenges, and they were scared people were gonna get hurt, and they did. Oh, here's a—
Yeah, and that's why they sign a waiver. Just like Netflix, you signed a waiver for the actual Squid Games. If you get hurt, if something happens to you, you get sick, blah, 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 it's not on them. It's on you. That's what the waivers are. I remember gonna be in the MrBeast game, and they sent me something to kind of sign. Hey, you got to go to another country. You got to do this, do this. If you get injured, something happens, they are not liable. They will say that in these contracts and shit that you sign. I am not liable. Guess what? That's what that means. They don't take any liability. They don't take any fucking fault. If you sign that shit, that's your fault. Nigga, that's how they do it. Yo, it's your boy, it's Fat Man. All right, we're already on to part 2. Let's get it, let's get it. So, we are here with Rosanna Pansino of The Real MrBeast, and this is the Boys Club. So, I had to cut the last video down because it was long. This video is probably gonna be the same amount, but let's get it.
Favorite boys. Do not talk down to talent or do anything to make them feel like I need them to be happy and in good moods, and those boys are special to me. Ideally, most talks with talent, parentheses, Chris, Carl, Chandler, and Nolan go through me, or Ollie, or Tyler to avoid confusion amongst them.
Okay, so don't shit talk or fuck with the talent because I need them at their best, and if there's too many people going in their ear, they get confused on what to do and what's happening, so anything that happens with them goes through me, Tyler. All right. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just make sure shit is cleared and comes through me and not goes through everybody else's ear. I get it.
Another thought. We pivot a lot. Be ready to have everything flipped on its head at a moment's notice. Lol. As someone who's worked—
Okay, so he changes and switch things up. So things will get switched up and changed up. There's nothing wrong with that because I even think he said, look, we had to change a lot of things around and that happens. Remember, this is the same nigga that said if my shit was scripted, it would come out faster. He doesn't play by any set of rules. The nigga is constantly changing like a child. I don't know if that's good or bad if he's changing and switching things up like a kid and changing his mind. So, you know.
Worked on many professional sets. To some degree, this can be true. Especially on location, you can run into factors that you didn't plan for correctly and you weren't prepared for. The ability to adapt and make changes on set is important as little problems arise, but however, when it comes to people's safety, like on the Beast games, you can't just make changes last minute on the fly at a production scale that large with that many people and have it be okay.
Well, as he said, we switch things up all the time. Shit happens. We change things. And that's just how it's run. Now, I get it how it's run from TV, but remember, this is not a television nigga. This is a YouTuber working with Amazon. Amazon technically is partnering with him, a YouTuber. He's gonna do things his way because he's been doing it that long forever. Come on, bro. Like, she has to really think about this. Get out of your... I'm removing... YouTube ain't TV. I can say whatever the fuck I want here, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get paid for it. Remember that. You can't say main things on television and still expect to make a paycheck either. Jimmy is not going to just fuck up his bag. He's going to try his best to change things up. Now, positive or negative, hey, fuck it.
And I've been talking to members of the crew who said that they were making changes minutes before some of these dangerous challenges, and they were scared people were gonna get hurt, and they did. Oh, here's a—
Yeah, and that's why they sign a waiver. Just like Netflix, you signed a waiver for the actual Squid Games. If you get hurt, if something happens to you, you get sick, blah, 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 it's not on them. It's on you. That's what the waivers are. I remember gonna be in the MrBeast game, and they sent me something to kind of sign. Hey, you got to go to another country. You got to do this, do this. If you get injured, something happens, they are not liable. They will say that in these contracts and shit that you sign. I am not liable. Guess what? That's what that means. They don't take any liability. They don't take any fucking fault. If you sign that shit, that's your fault. Nigga, that's how they do it. You fucking assholes. I don't know if she dumb or she dumb. But remember, if a company has you sign something that says they're not liable if you get injured, remember, you sign that shit, you is liable and you get hurt, nigga, that's on you. It's not on me, big fella. It's not on me. It's on you. That is exactly what they are saying. You don't like it? Boop. Deal with it.
Great one. I want money spent to be shown on camera, ideally. If you're spending over $10,000 on something and it won't be shown on camera, seriously think about it. And
okay, that's kind of what he's been doing for most of his videos. I need the money to be spent on camera to show that I am spending this money on camera for taxes and tax purposes. That's a fact. Plus, the money being showed on camera needs to be publicized and show to people that we're spending said money because they know how much we're spending, because this is the part of my business that I made money off of. Showing money, spending money. That's what's been happening for the longest in his shit. Now, regardless if it's on camera or not, that's how people know what's being sold. As people know what's being spent. People know how much is being put in because the amount of money that goes into something is being pushed heavily. And he's pushing it. He's pushing it heavily. Why? Because that's how he did it. If I'm spending $20,000 on something, I need the cameras on now. I'm spending so much money. I'm flipping the fuck out right now. This is a lot. Because 10K changes somebody's life, changes the situation. Shit, if 20K got dropped in my lap today, nigga, my whole life is changed when that 20K is gone because I can spend money like that, like a heartbeat. Should that be possible? No. I mean like smart decisions, not terrible decisions. But you really got to look at it from Jimmy's point of view. Money being spent, being pushed, all of these things, you really got to know what's happening. The man is literally saying, if you're taking this money, you better show it on camera because that's for tax purposes, video purposes. That's how his content's been made. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like she's going to inflate this, but there's nothing wrong with that because that's how he's been doing it for years.
And this is why so many people say that he only does charity for camera, because if he can't film it, he doesn't want to do it. Pull all-nighter.
No, I don't think that's what he's saying, because it's going to get filmed. It's going to get put out there. It's going to get publicity at some way because it's good for the cameras, because everything he does as a YouTuber is for the cameras, everything. Now, there's probably stuff he's done in private, but that's only because he's done that in private. Can it be filmed? Can he be filmed? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because he wants people to see, look, I'm doing this and look what I'm doing because of you. Now, regardless, if it can't be filmed, is he doing it? Who knows? Who knows? But if he can ask for permission for it to be filmed, he's got it. Remember, the nigga has other avenues to get what he wants.
There's weeks before the shoot, so you don't have to days before the shoot. If you planned with adequate time, preparation, and staff, your staff wouldn't have to be doing all-nighters. Also, the way he's worded it is that there's gonna be all-nighters no matter what. So it's either days before the shoot or weeks before. So he's encouraging people, don't sleep weeks before the shoot. And
the same nigga that says if he could cut out sleep, he would. I'm only bringing this up because Jimmy has come out and said a lot about who he is, and you take it how it comes. The nigga's determined. He's persistent. And that doesn't come without not being a businessman. If you want to be persistent and push and push and push, this is who you're dealing with. Let's stop playing these games. Come on, bro. Yes, pulling all-nighters is crazy. Nobody wants to pull a fucking all-nighter. Nobody wants to. I remember working a double. I had to clock out, go home, sleep for about 4 hours, wake up at 9 o'clock. I left work around 3 o'clock, had to get home. Nigga, it was like 4 o'clock. Then I had to wake up at 9? Be at work at 9? Nigga, I was walking in that bitch and they were like, where you at? I said, I'm at the door. It's 9 o'clock. I hung up the phone. I said, I'm at the door. Hung up the phone. And I got upstairs and the person was like, why'd you hang up on me? I said, I was downstairs and you were calling me, so I hung up. And I only got a couple hours of sleep. That happens. That happens when you're pulling a double. So I don't know what the fuck she talking about.
And remember, you have to be working on multiple videos at the same time. It pretty much sounds to me like you guys are always pulling all-nighters and you're heavily overworked.
Because the nigga is persistent. If Jimmy was more understanding and less persistent, he wouldn't be where he's at. If he was less like go, 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 and go, and go, and go. If he was less that, he wouldn't be where he's at. I'm just going to be real with you. He wouldn't be where he's at. We don't know how many videos this nigga has these people working on. He could have his people working on about 25 fucking videos right now, and they're all backlogged. Then he has more of a backlog. This man does not seem to stop, because for him, why do I have to stop? Why? I need to keep going and going and going, because if I can do it, you can do it. That's his mindset. Regardless if people are pulling all-nighters, he wants to pull that out of them. Now, is that morally wrong? Yes, you should give people a break. You should give people more time to chill the fuck out. You shouldn't be fucking dragging people about their teeth, but you should be chilling the fuck out and not having people work their asses off, because you've made it. You made more money than you can ever imagine. You've done more than you can ever imagine, but he's persistent. Why? Because there's a drive in this man that is unnatural in most people. Continue.
Here's the last Jimmy thought I'm gonna read. Never do anything that can make us look bad from a PR perspective. Jimmy only cares about his image, and Jimmy can also not follow his own advice.
He hasn't made himself look bad. I think Ava, Chris Tyson, yes. Chris back in the day, yes. Ava, Chris Tyson now, I don't really know, right? So people have made his shit look bad. I don't think Jimmy 100% has made his work environment bad. I don't think Jimmy 100% has done anything whack to affect the work environment he is in. I don't think so. I don't think that's how that worked. I do believe that she's bugging a little bit.
If you download the document and read through it, they mention multiple times how important their PR image is. But not once in the entire document do they ever reference doing the right thing. Page 28. The longer people watch, the better a video will do. This is why I'm such a stickler about every single second of content.
Because he is! That's a fucking fact. The nigga literally said that. He has said these things. The nigga is persistent. Now, regardless of how wrong or right that is, the man 100% is... He is dedicated to this. He is driven, because the people who've subscribed to him, the people who've pushed him, the people who has given him something, he's like, I care about every second, every moment, every part of my video. Because that's important. Because that's how I'm making my fucking money and paying you bitches. That's a fact. He has to care about every second, because every second and minute counts for him. It does.
I wanted to pause.
That's where he makes his content.
Point this out because I see a lot of people, Jimmy fans, leaving comments saying, well, Jimmy didn't do that, his editors did this. And I want it to be very clear that Jimmy approves every single second of footage that goes onto his YouTube channel. He is obsessive, he is extremely involved, and nothing goes onto his channel without his approval. I've confirmed this with people who work on Jimmy's videos, and he has literally confirmed this in a document. On page 31, I wanted to point this out because Jimmy is very aware of his demographic and who his audience is. It's very strategic, it's pointed. He says, but despite saying that, at its core, if I had to describe it, I'd say the average MrBeast viewer is a teenage memer that likes video games.
Okay, teenage. That could be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Though that's it. Teenage, right? Teenage. It's not 12. That's 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Those are your teens. Your teens are right when you hit that level. When you hit 13, you're a teenager. 12 is not a 12 is 12. it don't qualify as teens because you're not in your teens yet. When you hit 13, you're in your teens. They don't call it 12-teen, they call it 12. I'm sorry, I just had to say that because sometimes I'm like, when do you hit your teens? When you're 13 is when you hit your teens. So he knows his demographic are teenagers, which is fine. Teenage memers, people having fun, memeing, gaming. He didn't say kids, he said people in their teens. So if you 12, you're watching MrBeast content, fine. But if you're 13, 14, 16, 17 to 19 to 20, then you're watching his content. His demographic ain't 20-year-olds. They're 19 to 13-year-olds. That's where he sets the bar. Let's stop playing.
I'd like you to keep this in mind as more news comes out and unfolds. He is very aware that his audience is youth. Page 34, it's okay for the boys to be childish. It's okay for boys to be boys.
Say stupid shit, act childish. That's what he wants from his friends because he's built this company with his niggas. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like she's exaggerating a lot of this. And from someone like me, I'd be like, okay, cool, whatever. I take it as a shrug because the boys being boys could mean anything.
The boys club is back and here we are. If talent, he's referring to his best friends, wants to draw a dick on the whiteboard in a video or do something stupid, let them. Parentheses, assuming they know all the risks and aren't missing context on why it's not safe. People like when we are in our natural element of stupidity. Really do everything you can to empower the boys when filming and help them make content. Help them be idiots. This just shows the culture that he is intentionally building. He plays favorites, there is a boys club, and they are allowed to do things that other people aren't. Page 30.
I feel like she read this and the context itself just wasn't in her face, right? To me, this sounds like, let my friends be my friends. Let them have fun. Let them do stupid shit because when they're in their element, they're making good content. And I need that from them. I need them to be off script. I need them to be off holstered. I need them to be on point at the draw. Don't stifle them because they're the reason my content is being pushed as well. People like them more than they like me. And he knows that. He's saying, let the boys be idiots because when they're idiots, when they're doing stupid shit, they're having fun because I created this with them. If that's favoritism, fine, whatever. I would feel the same way if I had people on my staff. I'd be like, yo, let them do them. I have control of them. I know what's going on. Don't bother them, bother me personally. Don't say nothing to them and infect them with some bullshit, make them feel bad about something because I'm trying to make sure that they're on their A game when it comes down to filming. Let them have fun, let them fuck around. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, but it's obviously a boys club and it's obviously this. Fine. Now, for Jimmy, it's like, I'm gonna let my niggas be free because I built this with them. They're the only ones that know what's going on. They're the ones that are in my videos as well. I let them have their fun because I need them to be at that tip-top performance of fun and energetic. I don't need them being stifled.
35. I want famous people in our videos. Next line. I can't even read this. We don't fake things. The absolute delusion. Yes, you do, Jimmy. The majority of all your videos are faked. And yes, there is a range of the authenticity. Some of the videos do have some authenticity to them, but overall, they are fake. Creator Games 3 was not authentic. Logan Paul did not place second. You can't fake intensity in videos. Really?
I think if he's saying that from where he stands, but okay.
Really, Jimmy? What's this?
We literally found him 1 minute before Zach.
We literally found Logan Paul. That never happened. Fake. The document ends with talking about your career at MrBeast. If you've made it this far, you're probably at least semi-interested in this being your career. So I wanted to chat about it. Because if you're ambitious and want to dedicate your life to work, you pick the best company in America to do it at.
I'm like, the nigga's saying you pick the best company. You pick the nigga who pays you in severance. You pick the nigga who has put his livelihood and himself at the top of this point. Regardless about fake videos, it's how he says we didn't fake this or how this is done does make people think about it. Personally, I do agree with one thing. If videos are fake, they're faked. I think we knew at some point they were faked. He just says they're real for... I guess for his sake, who fucking knows? But he shouldn't say they're real. He said my videos, and maybe he's saying me filming my videos are real. The editing process is different. But saying he's the best well company in America, listen, if I could work at MrBeast and get some severance pay, fuck it.
A delusion. I would love to see the benefits of the best company in America. I would love to see the policies about your maternity leave, paternity leave, paid time off, which it doesn't seem like working for you is.
It doesn't have that in there. I think that would be a different type of situation.
Encouraged ever. And from what I'm hearing, you don't even like people taking holidays off, such as Christmas. This sounds like the worst company to work for in America to me. If you want to become a production manager, tell James your intention and ask him why you suck and how you can become better. Seriously, he will give you a list of things that you need to improve to become what we need, and if you actually listen and master those things, we will give you a shot at the role. Parentheses. Only problem is most people think they are better than they really are and don't take seriously when we give them things to improve and then wonder why they never move up.
Hold on, let me hear that again. Time out.
America to me. If you want to become a production manager, tell James your intention and ask him why you suck and how you can become better. Seriously, he will get—
Okay. Ask James your intentions, ask him why you suck and how you can become better. You want to become a production manager? Hey, I suck at production. How do I do this? Or I'm not good at this. What are my flaws and how can I work on this? There's nothing wrong to say. How it's worded is very bad, yes. But I think this is, once again, this is Jimmy being honest to his coworkers and his colleagues and being honest. Honesty like this is a little... honestly, like this is a little far-fetched and too much. This is too personal. You shouldn't be doing this type of personal honesty and then saying this. But I think for him, it's like, this is how I am. Deal with it or move on. Because I don't think he's changing for anybody. Let's get real here.
Give you a list of things that you need to improve to become what we need, and if you actually listen and master those things, we will give you a shot at the role.
Okay, basically he's saying if you talk to James and James gives you tips and tricks on how to do this and you listen to James clearly, carefully, and understand what we need, we're gonna put you on, and since you've learned from that, we're gonna see how you do and give you the role as production manager. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being said here. I feel like if it's something being said here that's wrong, point it out. Personally, I see it as constructive criticism. Hey, you want to become a production manager? I don't think I have the skills. How can I work on that? All right. So we're going to talk to the last two production managers, or we're going to talk to this person, or maybe James is production manager and James is going to let you know, all right, well, let me see how you would do this. So James would give you a set. He would ask you what you need to work on. You would tell him what you need to work on the production, and James would say, all right, we need to do that again, better. And that's it. Tips and tricks, there's nothing wrong with that, because obviously if you want to move up or do something, you got to ask the next person in front of you, and they're going to let you know how to move forward. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's how the wording is placed here, for real.
Parentheses. Only problem is most people think they are better than they really are and don't take seriously when we give them things to improve and then wonder why they never move up.
All right, that's fine. Because that's true. Hey, if we give you tips and we give you stuff and we let you know what's happening and you're just like, oh, okay, and I tell you shit and you don't take the advice, you don't take any of it, you think you better than what the fuck is happening here, nigga, and we never put you on and we do put you on, but you fail, we move on to the next one because that's how the game goes. I'm sorry.
I actually agree with Jimmy here. I do think that some people think that they're better than they are and that they don't take things seriously to improve. This isn't a stepping stone. This is your final destination.
I feel like that one's funny. That's funny.
All I can think about are the horror films, so moving forward. Now, read this all over again because I guarantee you didn't retain enough.
The nigga's being honest. I retained it. I feel like girl here is being a little hyperbolic and she's inflating that this is worse than it sounds. For him, he's being too honest with his coworkers. Two, he's being too forthcoming and forthright. Like, listen, this honesty works for some people, but it don't work for everybody. And three, it's how you say it and how it's approached. And four, Jimmy is this workaholic, push, push, push type of motherfucker. That's who he is. Let's be real.
I literally love that he ends his document by getting in one more jab to the new employees who are reading through this. Now read it again because I guarantee that you're an idiot. Read it again because I guarantee you couldn't retain something. Like just throwing an insult in there and talking down to people. A lot of people can read something and retain it. Projection much? All of that just barely scratches the surface of what's in here, so I will be posting the whole thing on my Twitter, so if you'd like to read through it, you can. To me, working for MrBeast sounds very toxic and dangerous. It's a boys club where everyone is overworked. It is almost cult-like. It's someone who cares about the work and not about the people. To end the video, I wanted to read some quotes, excerpts from an article written by the Rolling Stones and a journalist who visited Jimmy in person at his company in North Carolina. I'll be posting the link to the article down below if you'd like to read the entire thing. Quote, Donaldson says he doesn't give a fuck about money and plans to give it all away before he dies. Quote, I don't want to live my life chasing the next shiny object to the next shiny object. He says this as we drive around in his Tesla Model X.
It's nice to have nice things. That's kind of it. I feel like he says this as we drive around a Tesla Model X, but he says this because he's more dedicated to having all the things that you can have. He's like, honestly, I don't want to chase the next shiny thing. I can have all the shiny things, but when I die, I can't take it with me. That's a fact. That's as honest as it gets. Regardless, I'm driving around a Tesla Model X around my facility don't mean nothing. This comes with the territory of money. You gotta have nice shit to be at a certain company. That's a fact.
This is the journalist pointing out the hypocrisy.
That's not hypocrisy. That's a fact. The nigga has to have all these nice shit because you want to know why? He works at a company where he makes so much fucking money. But he just said, when I die, I give away all my shit. I don't want to chase the next shiny thing because eventually I'm not. He's not chasing the next shiny thing. He's chasing the public. He's chasing the views. He's chasing himself. What he's chasing is outdoing himself, which negative or positive, that's the battle. When you look in the mirror every day, you face this person. You are your own worst enemy. But if you keep trying to one-up you, that's all he's chasing. And in reality, nice things is just to have nice things. I don't think there's nothing wrong with having a Tesla Model X at my facility. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. He just has shit to have shit. Personally.
It's a sad, miserable way to go about life. I agree with you, Jimmy. It is. His assistant, a model handsome Utah transplant named Steele, says that prior to his hiring and Donaldson's ex-girlfriend redesigning his kitchen, YouTube's biggest star had lawn chairs in his living room and mattresses on the floor. I don't give a shit about looks, Donaldson says. I just care about functionality.
But that's bad. That's even worse. Think about it. If you don't care about looks and you only care about functionality, that's bad. Nigga had long chairs and a mattress on his bed, and then his girl came in and was like, you live like this, nigga? You need to have some function of how you look and how you care about yourself. You do, because functionality is cool, but when you don't have, I'm just gonna be honest, when you don't have something to make yourself look nice, look good every day, sleep somewhere nice, I'm not sleeping on that, but you yourself don't know what it is to be functional. I got a bed, I got some chairs, these things function well, I use them. But are they comfortable? Are you satisfied? Is this comfortable? You have an image and something to uphold, you need to uphold that image with looking good. Functionality is cool, but does it look good? Is it aesthetically pleasing? Is it nice? Sleeping on a futon, nigga, is okay, but if this is all you are, a bum-ass nigga, you really need to look at how functional that is compared to perception of what you're doing. Because what you're doing and the perception of what you have here is very much different. I have to say that for the most part.
Yet he also seems to be fixated on how much some shiny objects cost, pointing out that his custom-built double-sided refrigerator, which he had made so his chef could deliver meals from the outside without disturbing him, was 50 grand to install.
That's kind of cool. Nigga, it's a custom, so it's basically a refrigerator that opens on both sides and closes on both sides. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of cool. I don't have to just knock on your door. I can just literally put the shit in there. 50 grand is crazy, but I'm not gonna lie. If I can just open a refrigerator, connect it to my room and grab my shit and eat it, I respect the grind. That is fat, but I love it.
So he literally paid $50,000 so that he wouldn't have to see his private chef deliver some meals to him.
Yeah, I don't want to be disturbed or bothered. Nigga, open the fridge, put it in the fridge, I open the fridge and take it out. Duh, that's fine. Because he's so hyper-focused on a lot of shit. And I also think the man is kind of a little fake antisocial, but it's whatever.
Perhaps the greatest threat to MrBeast's family-friendly brand was in 2021 investigation by the New York Times that quoted several former employees alleging that Donaldson had fostered a toxic work environment, screaming at workers, forcing them to work long hours, and calling them slurs. Two of the former MrBeast editors who spoke out against him, Nate Anderson and Matt Turner, deleted the videos they'd posted about their experiences because of the harassment they got from MrBeast fans.
Listen, I'll put this out there. I do think Nate Andrew and Matt Turner, they probably felt that it was a bad work environment. Because reading through this document, I could see how some of these niggas is like, this is too much, long work hours, this is a bad work environment. He's doing the most, he's yelling, he's screaming because he's at a high level and all he wants is people to be the same. You want it, and the bad part is you wanted this, you joined this, and you got something out of it. I felt the same way I worked at iPic. I love movies, I love movie theaters. This is where it begins for how it is. I met 2 Chainz, I almost got fired. I didn't really care about that. And then eventually I got fired, but then I also collected the unemployment from them bitch ass niggas. Fuck you, iPic. So remember, you wanted this, you got it. And then if you didn't want this, he's like, oh, he's creating a bad work environment. Did you read the employee handbook? I guess you didn't, because a lot of people didn't. So this nigga was honest. He was real. He was blunt. And being real, being blunt, being a director at a studio, yelling at niggas happens. It happens. Calling people slurs, a little too far. But being put under pressure by yourself to get something out is where he's at. If they understood that, they would probably be there and they would be big too. Honestly. But people who make videos about Jimmy, or they do that, they just lose, he loses fucking with them. That's what happened to Sneeko. He was part of the MrBeast thing, he was part of the brand, then he made an exposed video, and then Jimmy never fucked with him ever again. So a lot of this is, did he create a toxic work environment? I think he was pushing too hard on his workers. He was doing the most to them. He was having them go an extra mile for no reason. And personally, that's Jimmy's fault.
Direct quote from MrBeast, Jimmy. I want to be the biggest YouTube channel ever, he says. Not even for my ego. I don't know, I just want it. It gives me something to strive for, to get out of bed and grind for. But it's also just vanity.
Hey man, vanity or not, he's trying to push himself. I think, honestly, the dude is trying to outdo himself. He's trying to be the best. And think about it, Jimmy don't got much hobbies. This is his hobby. This is his livelihood. This is him. Base your whole personality around it is what it is.
Which is ego. I wanted to read this.
What is the meaning of the word vanity? It's more like pride. It's more like pride in one's own achievements because he's achieving something, and that is vanity at its core. Achievement and pride. Is ego and pride in the same realm? It kind of depends. They're in both different definitions, so.
Section of the article because I noticed online that a lot of MrBeast fans are harassing MrBeast's ex-girlfriend, Maddie. I thought this would be interesting for you guys to hear. This article came out after they split up. He recently split from lifestyle influencer Maddie, who has appeared in a handful of his videos. And those in his circle told me that Maddie had been a positive influence, forcing Donaldson to prioritize work-life balance more. Donaldson did not want to comment on the record about the breakup, yet Tyson, which is Chris David Tyson, who is his best friend for his entire life and roommate, yet Tyson says Donaldson's singular focus on work was a major contributing factor. Quote, "I think that's what he's going to be looking for next. Someone who can match his obsession with business and money." All that kind of stuff. Now, normal.
Chris don't really know. Chris Tyson, Ava Tyson don't really know, because if Maddie was positive and having a work-life balance, she probably was someone that was able to pull this nigga out of working so hard. Because Jimmy is just like this. I'm working. I'm Mr. Beast. I'm on. He's that type of person. And she was just like, I'm gonna need you to step back for a second and be in the moment of life. Because life, I get it. YouTube ain't forever. YouTube is not something that you should strive for unless you really know this is what you want. Make some money, have some fun, retirement, make some smart investments, be smart about it. YouTube is the pushing game. And Jimmy's been pushing himself to outdo himself. She was there to say, I need you to step back and come back to reality and live a little bit. Enjoy your money. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your bed. Enjoy me. Enjoy us. Enjoy life, because the videos can keep on going. You just need to relax and learn when to balance things out. Sleep a little bit. Take some time. She was a good, positive thing in his life, because think about it. What's better than a woman's touch? What's better than a woman putting a little bit of stank and some femininity on that? What's better than a woman telling you to relax? Nothing is better than that. Because a woman telling you honestly, her being with you, relax, nigga, chill, it's her reminding you who you are. Life moves forward. You move forward. Chill. Let's continue.
Normally, when you have a breakup, your best friends are the first people to villainize an ex. But that is not what happened in this situation. His best friends are saying that she had a positive influence in his life. She helped him have a more healthy and normal work-life balance. They have all said positive things about her. She's a sweetheart. For today's video, I just want to read one last section from the Rolling Stones article. The one word that those in Donaldson's orbit used to describe him is obsessive. He has a tendency to fixate on one thing at the expense of all other subjects. There's a 5-year point of my life where I just relentlessly, unhealthily obsessed with studying virality, studying the YouTube algorithm, he says. I woke up, I would Uber Eats food, and then I would sit on my computer all day just studying non-stop with other YouTubers. There was also a Settlers of Catan phase that's led to Donaldson's assistant buying at least 5 copies of the strategy game a month, so there'd always be fresh ones lying around. Donaldson relishes the strategy and machinations it demands deadpanning. I'm great at lying.
I'm like, yeah, but that's in that game. I do think, if this is the end of her video, fine, copy, right? Being obsessive as Jimmy is, which this entire thing is who he is. YouTube is who he is. Is it illegal to be this obsessive? Nigga, it should be for him. It's how you put your time and effort forward, right? Maddie pulled this nigga back and said, realize your life and realize the life you are living is short and finite, and you can't keep pushing out these videos forever. There has to be a time where you can step back and live, because that is your life. Do better. That is beautiful that she was able to tell him that. Because don't get me wrong, his obsession and fixation will drive a motherfucker crazy. For Jimmy, that is wrong. Also, this strategy game I never heard about. Cool, whatever. He's good at lying in a video game. Copy. I do believe there is a sort of hold that YouTube has on him, and if he gets somebody else, like if he gets another girlfriend or someone that he cares about, realize he puts more time and effort into this, no other woman will look at him and be like, I can't do this. because they don't want to put time and effort into YouTube as well. They want to put time and effort into relationship, growing, building. I don't think Jimmy has the time to grow and build with somebody else the way he did with Maddie. And even though she was healthy for him, his friends realized that. And I think his friends don't want to say like, bro, this is a little too much. And I think they do. And sometimes he's like, you're just bitching. His obsessive energy has controlled him. His obsession is him pushing to beat himself. If he can fixate on one little thing and that one little detail over the many of things, that tells you something about who he is. I don't think Jimmy's a bad person. I don't think anything about this whole video and the last one was bad. I just think it's how it's been said and how it's been pushed to the public on the perception. Remember, all this was about Ava Chris Tyson. And then people was like, oh, it's Jimmy. And all the stuff that's come out, it ain't that bad personally to me. Because I'm just like, what's the big deal? It isn't. But that's not because I watched some of his videos. I think the dude is just moving about things differently. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching part 2 and part 1. I appreciate you. Make sure in the comments below to let me know what you think. Thank you for coming to Not Holding Back. Enjoy your Sunday. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, notify. Peace, and I am out. Ooh, I wish I was this obsessive, because goddamn.
Shit.
Getting bit on drum.
You
little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
the last
Some of
one.
you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
Ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All the niggas falling like all them niggas. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden.